Hey everyone, Joe Shep here. Today I have a video on the new early access factory game StarRupture. I recently made a video where I showcased a rail network in this game that contained every item that I can make. It's linked in the description if you want to check it out. I try to always make things as concise as possible to respect your time, so in that first video, I skipped over a lot of the details and focused on the high-level ideas. But I received several comments and messages that people are interested in seeing how I really like the details of how I built the factory. And that's what this video is all about. I will say building in this game can be a bit clunky and slow. So I did already build everything, but I'm going to explain exactly what I did and how I did it. If you enjoy, liking and subscribing really helps the channel. So let's get into it. Starting with the Wolfram. And in this video, we're just going to do Wolfram and titanium to keep things simple. So first, I have just the ore coming in from some extractors far away. 240 of it coming into 4 different smelters, each doing 60. So 240 per minute, each smelter doing 60 per minute. So we're getting all 240. And now I added these storage buffers in between. So now these storage buffers will fill up with Wolfram bars. So let me just really quickly show you. This rail just comes by each one, keeps feeding forward, and then feeding into the smelter. And then, so it's going this way. And what I do is kind of a zigzag. So now this goes this way, and then the next line goes to the left. So these, each smelter feeds into a storage depot. The storage depot feeds into a line of rails that goes to the left. And they also go forward into production. So the Wolfram things that can be made are wire. Wire gets made. It only consumes 1 every 4 seconds. So that's 15 per minute, even though it makes 2 for each 1 bar it consumes. So it outputs at 30, but it consumes at 15. So anyway, I do 4 of these wire ones, and each one goes into a buffer. And you can see the rail is feeding that way. And then so 4 wire, and then 2 plate, which do 60 per second. 60 in, 60 out. And then I do 2 Wolfram powder, which consumes 1 to make 3. So this is 30 in and 90 out. 30 bars in, 90 powder out. And I do this twice. So this is taking 60. The sheets are taking 120 because 60 twice. And then the wire is taking 60 because it's 15 4 times. Okay. And that's all feeding this way. And then if we go over to this, this has the ore and the bar so far. Because it's got the ore coming, and then this getting attacked. Okay, so then this feeds forward. That storage is just there to show what's going on. So this feeds forward. Then we bring all these together. And you can see now it has the ore, the bars, the wire, powder, and the plates. So it's got everything. All right, now let's look at the titanium section. I have 3 ore extractors, 2 impure and 1 normal. So together they are giving me 240 per minute. And they're feeding into 4 smelters, each doing 60 per minute. So if we look, this is where the ores all meet, and they come. They feed into the smelters as they pass by, and then they keep going around. There's a quick storage unit just to show what's available there. I just want to quickly fly through and show this is going to, now it's going to flow. In both factories, I'm doing this sort of zigzag where like I go, or like snaking through, where I'm, so the main line is like flowing, is like snaking through, like that path I just went on. So first, we get the ores, each doing 60. And then let me show you. Now I have rods, each being made 30 per minute for each of these, so 2 gets it to 60. And then I do the sheets twice. They each do 60. The reason I do that is because they're both used in the next formulas or recipes. So anyway, so it's 60 bars for rods, 120 bars for sheets, And then each of these does 20 bars into 20 beams. So I do 3 of them to make it 60. So 60 bars go into beams, 120 go into sheets, and 60 go into rods, total of the whole 240 that I'm producing. And then here I'm making housing twice because each one does 30 per minute, and I wanted to do 60. This first storage depot just has the ore coming in. The second row also has the bars. The third row also has the rods, sheets, and beams. And the last row also has our tubes and our housing. Okay, so I have all of that feeding in back to the Wolfram area. And you can see this was my Wolfram. And this is where it's getting fed from. So all the Wolfram stuff is on this rail. And then all of the titanium stuff's on this rail. And they combine here. And you can see this now has access to everything, both of them. So rotors are something that need materials from both. So I'll set this to rotors. It's going to take a little bit longer to get the titanium because it's coming from further away, but it should start coming soon. Yeah, there they are. And then something else is stabilizers need rotors as well as titanium rods. So let's try that too. And then have these buffer chests, just as an example of how you're able to combine them and just request whatever they need from each rail that's coming in. And then this will have access to all of it because I'm feeding the main rail forward as well. So let's talk about, should you build something like this? Is it actually useful? It's up to you. And also, maybe you just think it'd be fun. So it doesn't matter how useful it is. I think it would be mainly useful as a mall, sort of a mall where you're producing a little bit of everything you need, and you can come here to grab some items for, maybe this is where you make your gun ammo and your building materials, and maybe it's where you come get your stuff to research new recipes, because sometimes you need a bunch of little things for those. But I do want to be clear that when it comes to mass producing a specific part for a contract, this is not efficient, and you'll be better off with a dedicated build for that. I had to kill some bugs real quick. So yeah, you're very welcome to copy this and take inspiration from it. But I hope you try to take away an understanding of how it works so that you can use it to build your own ideas and come up with even more interesting things. And an example of how you could tweak this is like maybe instead of combining the titanium and the Wolfram rails here, we just like input them separately and keep them both feeding forward separately, instead of creating a bottleneck right here. So there's little things you can do like that actually significantly change the throughput. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching to the end.